Really important video. I just done it in a short, but I think it's more important. So it's a bit longer. I'm not going to be longer than 2 minutes. I think 5 minutes. A bit of sun in here would be nice, wouldn't it? Too much though. So it's one of those things. I've been rehab a few times. I've been 3 times, and I went to the same rehab, really good one in Stroud. It was really good, but there's not saying there's better ones out there because there is. But even though I have relapsed here and there, but honestly, without rehab, I wouldn't have as much clean time as I have in between. That's my best advice. If you do relapse, just pick the pieces up again. Don't do that thing. Oh, that's it. Now it's all over. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Pick the pieces up. Remember what you learned. Remember where you went wrong. Remember what happened. Go rewind the tape. What did I use on? Oh, because my goldfish died. Sounds stupid, but that hasn't happened to me. But we laugh at things like that. But there's some truth in that. What it is, you'll justify it. So my mum's died, or a friend of the family's died, or I've just lost my job. Do you know what I mean? There's always something. Then you justify the use in my head. Blah blah blah. See what I mean? That's very true. So what I quickly want to say, the first more important thing, just in case anyone switches off, if you do go to rehab, if you know anyone that's going to rehab, okay, tell them this, because they don't always tell you this. Luckily, I had a really decent staff member there who, on the way out, when they were giving me my train ticket, because they paid for a train home, he knew I was going home. Now, I told them it wasn't to use, but really in the back of my mind it was. Yeah, I was going back to Luton to use. That was in the back of my mind. Graham, God bless his soul. I don't know if he's still around. Hope he is. God bless your soul, mate. He used to be in a band, believe it or not. I never heard him before, but he used to be in a band before he started doing the rehab and all that. Anyway, he told me, he goes, Luke, mate, look, you said you're not going to use. If you do use, be very, very careful. Your tolerance. It's so true, your tolerance. So before you went into rehab, you're doing a 10 bag in one hit. Fine, no problems. Come out of rehab, do that same 10 bag, you can go over. I'm so glad he said that. Did I listen to him? Probably not. I didn't, so I just got lucky. But it isn't back in my mind. But I still remembered it from this day. Now, no one else told me that. No one else, clients told me that. No other staff member told me. He told me that. So I want to do it in a video because it's really important. Not just if you're going to rehab. If you know someone that's going to rehab, especially with certain drugs like heroin, things like that, tablets, even drink. I guess you could go over, but do you know what I mean? Your tolerance is a bit different with the drink, but it's still dangerous. But tell someone, man. If you know someone's going for rehab, even if you don't like them that much, just mention it to them. Say, look, if you do relapse, because you don't want to plant the seed in their head. Oh, why are you saying that for? Blah blah blah. It's called being realistic. I would rather say it. So there was a guy on YouTube a little while ago, and he said he was clean, blah blah blah, year clean. What was he? 3 months clean. So everyone's congratulating. I was like, congrats, mate. Really well done, mate. But I said, look, I'm going to be that guy. I don't know you from Adam, but I am going to be that guy. I'm going to say, look, that's really good what you're doing. Keep it up. If you do relapse, just remember your tolerance, mate. Remember your tolerance, because so many people have died like that. My sister's ex-boyfriend, Darren, he died from that. That's what happened to him. I mean, he had a cocaine problem, as far as I knew, but he might be doing heroin, because when I stayed around there, he was asking me about it too much. My sister was in the front of the car, I was in the back, he was driving, and he was asking me, when the questions they're asking, it's because they're like, want to know too much, and then I'm trying to negotiate it. What's it like? What's it feel like? And all that. I'm trying to play it down, and do you know what I mean? Because I knew what was going on. Anyway, he never asked me for heroin, but I did do that with him. So it may have been that which you went over on. It may have been, or he may have been, because normally it's the banging. Normally it's that. Normally, not always. But with cocaine, you can go over. So it's not something they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. So it's a really important thing. If you're going rehab, anyone that's going rehab, yeah, tell them that. Yeah, before they go, say like, hopefully you'll make it. You'll be fine. Hopefully you'll be good. Keep up the great work. If you do, worst case scenario, you do relapse. A would be tolerance. Remember, be very careful. Don't do the same amount you do before you went in. Slowly work your way up. And B, it's not the end of the world. You just don't use again. Yeah, just have one blip, because a lot of people say that they want to get it out of the system. They do it and they're like, oh, anticlimactic. Do you know what I mean? That happens a lot. That really does happen a lot. And it's like, oh, well, you can just carry on doing shit and then you're not getting nothing out of them. Or you can just say, oh, fuck it, right, learn from that. Okay, what went wrong then? Oh yeah, I've got those numbers in my phone still, haven't I? A lot of people know the numbers by heart, especially dealers. Not everyone does. Oh, I walked that way home, didn't I? Maybe don't walk that way. And what they say is stupid things like get a watch. Even if it doesn't work, get a watch. If someone stops you who you know or you used to use with or you sense they're druggies, just make an excuse. The guy in rehab said it. He's like, I'll just look at your watch and say, oh, sorry, man, I've got to go. You know what I mean? That's a good one. Things like that. Walk a different route home. Don't walk past the dealers. Little things like that. So then you rewind the tape. Where did I fuck up? So it's a really important thing. People don't tell you that. Your tolerance is number one. And also, I want to finish quickly as well. I didn't see this happen to anyone, and I don't think this happened to me. But I'm telling you now, this is definitely a thing, and I know it's happened. I've heard no documented things about it, but yet again, it's another one of those things which I've heard no one else say in the world. But there must be someone out there. Very careful in there. Be very careful. If someone offers you a cup of tea or a cup of or water, whatever, okay, be very careful. Do you know why? because this I've got experience in this. I was in rehab, so with me it was this obsession because I'm so good looking, good looking. Swear to God, it was brought up quite a few times that I was too good looking for rehab. I swear to God, I was too good looking for. How can you be too good looking for? I swear to God, I'm not joking. And this is meant to be people that are sober. That's how the human condition is always sad. Addicts can be really sad, and when they get clean, they can still be sad. So I was too good looking for rehab. And then throw into the singing and all that because I was singing. I was tall, green eyes. So then, as soon as I had a problem with a Muslim man, Mo, who was he had a wife at home and a child at home, and he had sexual intercourse with, I swear to God, about 6, 7, 8 girls in the space of a month. And I was the only one who had a problem with it. Out of the whole rehab, the staff wouldn't touch it. Do you know why? Because he was Muslim. So if you're Muslim, that means in rehab you're allowed to have sexual intercourse with all these chicks who are not Muslim. Then it weren't your wives. Really weird. I brought it up anyway. So EDL racist. Tell you why people are concentrating on that, trying to say I'm racist because I didn't like the fact a Muslim man was having sexual intercourse with all these women when he got a wife at home and a child at home, and we're in rehab. And some of the girls are really vulnerable. An Asian one, she was really vulnerable. She had an eating disorder, incredibly vulnerable. But I noticed the staff with me. I had one relationship with Hattie. With me, I was watched like a hawk. Why is that? Because it's safe. Because it's safe. Because he was Asian and because he was Muslim, it was allowed to get away with it. Anyway, so long story short. So I know this didn't happen to me when I was there last time, but this could have happened because everything going on. Someone offers you a drink, right? They offer you a drink, right? They put something in your drink. They don't like you. They want you out. They put something in your drink. They've made you a drink. You don't know anything about it. They put a tiny amount in. Oh, and then they go to stuff behind your back. Oh, Luke was acting really funny last night. I think he was using. He's looking really funny. Like, yeah. And then they drug test you. And then you'll think, I haven't used. And you give them the drug test. Oh, you've got positive for Valium, mate. Benzos in your system and a bit of heroin. You said you haven't used. I haven't used. Oh, see what I mean? That's a really important thing. No, I've never heard anyone else saying that in the world. I'm telling you, that's a thing. People say that's paranoia, but I'm sorry, it's a good reality. I've had it here in my house. I won't go into too much detail. So I kind of made up with her now. It's all kind of, yeah, same thing. There was only one person here, but it was a chick. And she was like basically in front of staff as well, which pissed me off. They didn't intervene on nothing, saying I was really, why are you so good looking? You know, for gritty teeth, why are you so good looking? Why do you smell so good? You smell. Why do you smell like it? But it was almost like an anger. Do you know what I mean? Why are you so good looking? So I got to justify why I'm fucking here. I'm in supported accommodation because I was homeless. So I got to justify why I am some random person. You know, really, I felt it didn't come out. I felt like saying, "Look, man, I've just looked after myself, man, because it's true. Even through my addiction, I managed to moisturise, I managed to wash, I managed to have a shave, I managed, yeah, just look after yourself. And trust me, alcohol as well. They don't tell you this in rehab. The world don't tell you this. I'm telling you now, I've got experience. If you want to look young, don't drink. And if you do drink, just drink like once a weekend or whatever. If you're drinking every day, I'm telling you now, it ages you 1,000,000%. It's not being mean. It's not a witch hunt. I'm telling you now. It's things you don't read in books. Why is it alcohol doesn't have a picture of George Best in hospital? Why is that? Why have cigarettes got people in morgues in body bags and stuff? But then alcohol, there's no one with liver failure on that. Why is that? It's because the government make too much money off it. That's why. So it's a really important video. 10 minutes, I'm done. Really important video. I've never heard anyone saying that. So, you know, how can you title a video like this? Probably just like if you're going rehab or know anyone's going rehab, you want to hear this because it's really important. Start with the tolerance thing. That's something they don't tell you that, especially if you're using on your own as well. So for me, when that Graham told me like be careful your tolerance, I wasn't careful and I went home and done exactly what I'd done before, and I just slept for like 2 hours. I slept from the hit, but I was on my own. So the fact I'm still here is a miracle. It's an actual miracle, and I used a lot on my own and I was doing it the extreme way as well. So the fact I'm still here is an literal miracle. So I do thank God for it. I do. I do. Some days I don't believe in God, but at the same time, it's like, well, something kept me alive all that time. So anyway, I could have gone over and I could have died. I'm still here, so I want to pass that message on. Yeah, it's you don't want to be negative and that and say it to someone, but maybe when they get to rehab, tell everyone that it's the first thing you should learn because I know I get it because you don't want to bring people down and trigger them. But if, like what I said in rehab, because they were talking about people talking about war stories, you know, the war stories, have been through this, been through that. When you wasn't in group, like in the TV room, and people wasn't comfortable, and I said the stuff didn't like it. It's true. I said I think it's good that people are doing that here. It's good to get out of the way because when you leave here, things are going to come up. And then if you've already spoken about it here, it may help you when you leave. I think I'm right about that. Be very careful though. What you take a drink, cup of tea, whatever. If they don't like you, I swear to God, it could be over the slightest thing that a chick there fancies you and they fancy the chick, and but she don't fancy you or a bloke, whatever. Because I was quite popular with men as well, the gay men there, so I was really popular. A guy called Ricardo from Portugal, bless his soul, he died. I don't know how he died. I think it was an overdose, and it could be the thing I'm talking about. I don't know if it was, definitely because of his tolerance. I've got a feeling it might have been, bless him. But anyways, a gay guy from Portugal, he fancied me, and he told the whole rehab, and he used to say it in front of me. And I didn't mind. I used to blush at first, it was embarrassing, but then I kind of liked it. I thought, I don't mind. It's a compliment, man. real quite. He never tried it on with me, but as a compliment. So it's cars coming from him, gay guy. So as a lesbian there, said I was really fit. So I'm not being funny. I had a lot of hate. So the smallest little thing you do, then they're clinging onto it because I didn't like it because I was from Luton as well. So is that right, YouTube? Am I the only person? Doesn't matter what religion you are, what race you are, what country you're from. That's wrong. Having sex with all those chicks in rehab, in short amounts of time, is just disgusting. Basically, fucking them and chucking them. Or was it because of that? I don't know. I never found that out. Maybe it's something to do with that. Maybe they were chucking him, but he was just proper taking advantage. Yeah, and his wife used to ring the rehab, as Muslim women used to ring the rehab. I come this close to telling her I did because it was bugging me that much. But I thought, you know what? Even if I did, she'd be like, "Oh, it's okay. It's Islam. We're allowed." Because she'll get that. You can't question it. Imagine if the woman was doing that. Though. Could you imagine if the woman was doing that? Honor unaliving is a real thing. So anyway, I want to say that's a really important thing. I've never heard anyone else saying that. Yeah, about especially about the spiking thing, tolerance thing. That doesn't really come up a lot. It's the most important thing you should learn straight away. So if you're going to rehab, if you're using now, yeah, take that in. If you're planning to go rehab, whatever, or down the line you may think, not even that, even if you don't go rehab, if you do it at home, if you manage to do it at home, if you stop using it at home, you come off methadone, you come off the drugs and all that, if you do it at home and then you've had a few weeks off and then you go back to it, be careful. It's exactly the same thing. Your tolerance goes down. So then what was getting you, was fine before could literally take you over. That's what happened to Darren, my sister's ex-boyfriend. Anyway, he's dead. I don't know if it was heroin though. I think it might have been cocaine. But anyway, really important. I wanted to say that. Be very careful, especially getting drinks off people. Because there could be anything in there. If they hate you, they could put Valium in it, anything, benzos, anything you test positive for, even cannabis, you can get thrown out for that. They can put a tiny bit of cannabis in anything they can put in there. You're having a drink, none the wiser. And then, like I said, they go to the staff and say, "Oh yeah, Luke's acting a bit funny, or John's acting a bit funny." You might be on something, I reckon. I don't know, yeah. And then they'll drug test you, and then it comes back positive when haven't taken anything. Really important one. I've never heard anyone else saying that. That's the way that's the way I live by with my channel. If I've never heard anyone else saying something, I want to say it because I think it's really important. Someone else has definitely said exactly what I've just said. I'm pretty sure. I don't know about the last bit, the spiking, but I know they've said about tolerance. But I've never heard it though, apart from that one guy, Graham. So it's really important, man. God bless you, Graham. I hope you're still all right. Anyway, that's me done, man. It's really important for rehab.